Hello. I was a little early. But hello and welcome back to Question Bound, everyone. It's me, Artful, as always, here, thriving to ask all the pressing questions. But we also have Hulda returning. You can leave some questions in the comments to grill her. But we also have a new person. I don't think you've been on Question Bound before.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was like unsure when I should talk, but hi. Yeah, no, this is the first time. But I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Happy to have you. Oh yes, happy Trans Day of Visibility. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, absolutely. Happy chance of invisibility, everybody.
Makes me very happy.
Oh, whoa! Thank you for the subs.
Bradford always
awesome.
fucking
Thank you for the
Bradford
through.
coming in with the whole purse, the whole wallet, just throwing it.
Like every single line, Bradford just like it. Bradford is
Comes
our
in
sugar
and just,
daddy.
like,
Bradford
comes
is the
in.
somewhere bound sugar daddy. Like there is no
With
question.
paper.
Sugar daddy.
Thank you. Oh, by the way,
That's our
guys.
coin.
Also, like because of people like subbing, we now, got enough money to buy headphones for Yellowbees with a mic and stuff. So we're actually like, and I also bought some things for my laptop, so it'll be a lot easier for me to navigate stuff, which will be really nice. So thank you guys for subbing. And
Is that why B does a lot of her videos like are in the bathtub?
No, the bathtub thing is because that's the only place in the house that has good Wi-Fi. But like headphones, like there are times in game. Apparently, she told me like when I asked her like, "Do you have any other headphones?" She's like, "No." And there are times I can't hear anyone for 15 minutes, but I'm too scared to go and fix it. So I'm like, "Oh my god, we are getting you headphones with a mic." Like ASAP. So I got her like one of those, not the Razer ones, but they look like the Razer ones, like pink ones with like cat ears.
Okay, of course,
Our brand. Our
Staying in
brand.
character. The brand.
But yeah, go ahead and drop your questions down below for these two. Anything you have in relation to D&D in general, them, past sessions, etc., etc.
I have a question, by the way, for Jared.
Okay, go for it.
How was it? What was like your expectations before and after me asking, "Hey, do you wanna guest with a little fun little character called Frederick?"
Yeah, that was the thing, is when you asked me that, I already knew a little bit of your background, like with like LARP, and I've already watched like maybe like a session of how you do your how you do your games. I was like, okay, and I also knew that I'm a big procrastinator, and it's just like this is gonna be great. My expectations going into it, I was really nervous because I think we had it somewhat planned out with bullet point. I was like, okay, let's just go with it, and it worked out well. I enjoyed playing Frederick because it allowed me to experiment with the type of ranges I have with accents, and because it's very hard to just like talk in one accent and shift it to another. So that's why like my French accent, it was supposed to be terrible on purpose, so that way I could like make it easier on me. But yeah, no, I had a great time, and I like the way how you do things, specifically of how you run your table. It was great. I was like, I knew I was just like a guest character, but I really felt like I was a part of something. And the way you play your character, like it wasn't like, oh, wasn't like an NPC like character for me. This was like, oh wow, I'm a part of it, like really part of it, and I appreciate that so much. I loved how we went along with the whole like, I love my yellow pastry, my tweet.
Hey, I'm a yes and. I've always been a yes and. Hype train! So, definitely.
Oh! Hype train! And thank you all for the gifted subs to everyone. Look at this. It's so great in this chat.
Yeah,
it's a good
bouncing off ideas was like awesome, and like it's been a while since I actually did any like LARP stuff, but being able to talk to you was kind of like planning for a LARP, and like I appreciate that so much.
Well, that's what D&D is right now. Is just laughing online.
Yeah.
Laughing but online.
Laughing but online. Exactly.
Captain Amelia Forever Want to ask, how are you guys? How are you today?
Good.
question.
My sister and her boyfriend are visiting, and I haven't seen her in like months, so that's really nice.
I've been preparing scripts for the new Rosewood Inn videos. I try and plan in advance because everything I do is scripted according to the angle, the shot of where it is, even the sound effects and what pinpoint. I even have a planner for every single scene because it's hard to crunch everything down under 58 seconds, which has been a little difficult before. But it was great. Yeah, a lot of planning. I had to remember to do some self-care. Self-care is important, folks. You should do that. Do you drink water? Does anyone drink your water?
No, I ate a whole bowl of ice cream, and I've been drinking 2 cups of hot chocolate Baileys. So
we need to work on. We should make our channel. We need to make our channel points like hydrate, stretch, and implement that. If only we can put them as different people. Be like, all right, you just whatever person is playing. I'm the constant. You can constantly tell me to hydrate.
I also want a little thing with like me and Ree, because I feel like me and Ree are the ones who drink the most like alcohol on stream, especially me. So just like a shot thing for just me and Ree every time we have alcohol.
I feel like that's promoting something. I don't think we should promote that. I don't think we should.
We should.
Maybe if the shot's water.
Oh, maybe.
When you're drinking, there you go.
But I've actually bought Baileys because I was jealous of Ree. Because every time Ree was like drinking Baileys, I was like, "Fuck, I want Baileys so bad," and then I bought it.
This is valid. Oh, we have another question from Captain Amelia Forever. What is your most surprising moment of your character / someone else surprising you during D&D of Somewhere Bound? So the most surprising character thing you've seen for either you or someone else.
You want to go?
I think it was that big reveal for me of like how messed up Théoden's brother was. Like I thought he was like a douche canoe, but like I didn't realize it was that
a big
bad.
Douche canoe. He's a douche.
Like I was like, okay, he's a sassy power bottom. Fair, good, fine, that's cool. But then he literally slapped and like off that maid, and I was like, oh. You're that guy. I'm like, okay, now I see. I made the connection here. I feel the fear.
He was a douche ship. He was an entire Navy vessel of a douche.
He was an armada.
He was an armada. A douche armada. Not to be confused. It's a douche Navy. Like, it was just awful.
Yeah, that caught me so off guard. I was like, because the way you told me, Hulda, was that like, oh, it's like, it's like comedy and fun and joy, and then there's like death. I'm like, oh.
But I want to counter argue that comedy only works when there's drama involved.
Oh yeah. I agree in that regard. I do that with the Rosewood Inn all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's what I've learned the most like in drama school, like because I struggled a lot with comedy before, and then my teacher would be like, act it as if this is high drama, like this is Shakespearean level of drama, this is soap, because the more you believe the tragedy of it, the funnier it becomes. But that wasn't supposed to be funny, but it balances out.
That shouldn't be funny, but
it's a little balance, it's a little sweet and salty.
It works.
it works. For me, was definitely so with the BBs. Every time B opens her mouth, I never know what's gonna come out, and I fucking love it. And with the W's was definitely Saint with the fucking mushroom soul swapping situation.
That was pretty crazy.
Because I'd forgotten I'd given it to them because that happened in session 0. Fuck.
Vane had that in her mind.
And Vane was like... and me knowing that Lydia / Agatha was the big bad as well, knowing that she was doing that, I'm like...
Oh, that's spicy.
Question.
Sure. So yeah, that's definitely mine.
Alright. Question from Michael is doing his best, which you are doing your best, by the way.
Hello, Michael.
Some aspects of RPG that you didn't expect to enjoy as much as you do.
Combat, because I'm very much a role play type of personality. I love the acting part. I love the storytelling collaboration. Combat wasn't always like a big thing for me, but then again, I come from a primarily like LARPing background, so I figured like, okay, if I can do this in like with a foam stick and in full plate armor, there's no way it can be just as exciting. Not calling out any LARPers here. I'm one of you.
I'm one of you.
But yeah, going into the combat aspect as like, I got excited because, and it really just depends on DM of how they add like flavor text and how they do certain things, but I liked it because no matter how good your stats are, it's all on the dice. No matter how much of an advantage you got, you could mess up, and that's what I like about it. I like the risk. And the
It does make it more dynamic.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when I'm playing with people and they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this thing because I don't have the highest stats in it. I'm like, no, do the thing. You could roll a natural 20 and your stats wouldn't matter. Do it. Or you could roll a natural 1 and it'll be really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. For me, I think so. Role playing wise, I think being like from a DM perspective, being able to create NPCs that people will latch on forever. Like people that I've just like made up on the spot and like mine. I'm like, oh god, I've heard rumors about this. I was not prepared. And then needing to like flesh on the story of this one little thing that you made and was like, oh, maybe this will actually work. And having that as a reoccurring thing.
All right. Question from Scarlet G99. Someone wants to play D&D with you, but claims they have no mental illnesses or neurodivergence. How do you respond?
Don't worry. Well, I'll give you enough trauma to give you a tiny bit of spice in your daily life. Don't you worry about that.
A very standard Joe who just walks in and says, I would like to play the D&D.
Soon.
There you go. You don't have it, but who knows?
No, but in like jokes aside, everyone's welcome. Everyone's absolutely fucking welcome.
Yeah.
It just means you might have a very interesting backstory made up for you.
Yeah. Or you'll have to deal with a lot of crazy people.
That'll be it. You'll be the one sane person among a bunch of just people who are throwing themselves at literal dragons just for like money, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
Me playing Steve, a recurring character.
Steve!
The only mentally sane person. Okay. Question from Chelsea Hay, 93. Frankenpunk question. What is Pheylin's favorite flower?
Oh. The thing is, the Phelan is not a flower gal, though.
Shrub. Tree. Dirt.
Ooh, actually, a willow tree. I know that's not a flower because I don't think she's a flower girl, but I think she would like have a little connection with like willow trees, and I can see her like sitting like underneath the willow tree by herself to like get away from everything. So, no, it's not a flower, but a willow tree.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I mean, dirt was an option.
Dirt was an option. Sand.
Favorite grain of sand.
I got a jar of dirt.
I got a jar of
dirt. Okay, question from Captain Amelia Forever. How much do you, this is a question to Jared, hold on to answer. How much, there's a lot of things happening in this question. There was like parts left unsaid.
So
the
much.
ending, yeah, it was how much do you question to Jared, think Harold already answered. What D&D class would you be in real life? The question started interestingly, but what D&D class would you be in real life, Jared?
I think it's like pretty obvious for me is paladins specifically. It's because I have like a general paladin complex, which isn't always healthy. It's like where like you have to carry everything, the weight on your shoulders. You have to do this, you have to do that, because like it's not that no one else will. It's just that like I don't want to risk it. And I mean, I already have like armor for days. So.
You're already ready.
Yeah.
When the D&D world takes over, you're ready. You shift into the D&D realm, you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And I specifically like it because paladins aren't exactly just like fighter types. They're a lot of times they're like support. And that's what I like about it. It takes away the whole stigma that they're armored tanky tanks and they're gonna destroy everything, because usually it's quite the opposite.
I find D&D interesting in that there's a few classes where you think they're one thing, but you don't realize that they're not. Like clerics, how everyone's like, oh, they're just like tiny little healers that are like super weak and squishy and only heal. And it's like, bro, no, you don't want,
clerics.
no, please. That
Oh my
mace,
god.
You don't want to mess with a cleric, please.
No.
Clerics are be scary.
Just be absolute powerhouses.
Yeah, no.
Like some classes are exactly what you think they are, but some of them, I'm just like, listen, you don't understand. You don't want to mess with.
Like, I think about clerics as like holier paladins, if that makes sense. in some
Holy.
I'm closer to my god than you
are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Warlock, I'm closer to my god than my
Y'all, all of y'all.
Wow.
The thing with
I got him
Warlocks,
on speed dial.
Warlocks don't even have to be like given powers from gods. It could be anything.
A flower that just happens to talk. A book.
If anyone is willing to be a powerful sugar daddy, that is all it needs to be.
A regular wizard could walk up and say,
Hey, how you doing?
how you doing? I want to be a warlock, and oh my god, to be a mob boss. I think it'd be iconic. Okay. Ooh. Okay, if you couldn't play your main class, question from Starkiller, what would your second choice be? So if you couldn't play your main, who would you be? For both of you.
I mean, my main is a bard. But no, okay. My main personality is a bard. I usually play rogues. So warlocks, I guess. But then again, I do play a warlock in another campaign.
Warlock, yes.
Because I think the warlocks are neat.
It's basically whatever character you play the most, and then what's the second one if you don't have, if like someone else in the party are all bards.
I'll play the warlock.
And you're like,
then.
gosh.
Or rogue.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I'd play the origin of my name. A bard multi-classed into a cleric. So originally one of my first characters was a youth pastor bard, where like I was
What?
I purely played as my youth pastor
Can
bard.
we get that again? Let me take off my headphones and listen.
My youth pastor bard, where we would be sitting around the campfire, everyone would be brooding about how our teammate was taken by the dragon, and I'm just like, my goddess is an awesome goddess, like in the middle, you know.
Oh my god.
It's
I'm
fine.
and
And you're like, would you like a pamphlet?
That's exactly how I played my character.
Oh
Be
my
like,
god.
hey, I know your parents were slain by the demons, little Timmy, but have you considered conversion? Just like,
Little Timmy.
little Tim. Have you heard of Saren Ray?
And you're just like, oh boy, are you in for a treat? And you pull out your tomes.
Saren Ray 224.
Portable.
Yeah.
Truly struggling, but you know what? We love to see it.
Love to see it. Oh my god.
Question Question from Scarlet G99. How do you come up with your TikTok ideas? At 3 a.m. when I'm supposed to be sleeping, and then the ideas come, and then we do them, maybe.
Mine is either very spontaneous, I'm like, I'm gonna do it right now. Or they are very planned. It's like
no in between.
Extremely planned, very spontaneous, or like
No in between.
No, in
Only
between.
2 options.
Because when I think about like I should do that, and then I just don't do it because something else comes up. So it's either.
Exactly.
Jared, I know you write scripts.
What about you? What about you?
You have a 3-year plan.
You got a Google Doc? You got a Google Doc? You got a Word doc? You want to share your Excel sheets with the class?
What I do is, because a lot of times I don't usually make like simple content. Like I don't make it, and this isn't a call out, but more of the type of content I do is very complex. It has different angles and different shots.
I've seen you edit. I've seen you edit. You edit on an actual computer with a program and green screen.
Oh, you mean you don't just download an app and do it on your phone and then say that's good enough to export it? What? You don't record your TikTok? You don't record your TikToks?
No. I use I think Hulda's already seen it because like she helps some content from time to time. I have a professional grade set, camera, 3 different forms of lighting, green screen. There's a standard that I want to set for myself. So how I come up with ideas for content is a lot of times you'll find that I'll be listening to a medieval playlist or even watching a movie like something fantasy aesthetic like The Princess Bride, for example. I'll take that idea from there. I'll put on my earphones, I'll get a notebook, and I'll go on a walk outside. And usually ideas will pop up. I start off with bullet points, and then out of those bullet points, I figure out what kind of message I can share with that type of topic. Usually I try and do comedy sketches, but for the more deeper, meaningful videos, they take a little bit longer. But yeah. That's how I do it.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this would be nice. This would be neat. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then I do it then and there. Or I'm like, with, for example, I'm doing Lady Macbeth soon. And I have not planned this much with anything in a while. So I'm sitting here like buying so much stuff and like saving so many audios and like already like planning all the shots in my head, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
knowing. And the thing that hurts me the most, that I know it's gonna flop, but I just have to keep like reminding myself, like, you know what, you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for yourself.
Yeah.
Like you do. Yeah. I think the most I've ever had to plan for a TikTok was when back when everyone was doing their Crimson Crown OCs, and then like between me and Geneva and Sweet were all doing, and also Grim was joining us. We just haven't got around to filming this part. We were doing like a whole storyline with our kingdom, so we had to like meet and make Google Docs and Excel sheets, and we had audios, and we had to save the audios, like share the file, and then put the link, and then write under it what's going on. It was a whole thing. At least I had to. It was a great event.
We love a good event. It was so good to just sit and watch through it, though.
Like, we're still planning like the next part, and we're just sitting here. All right, who has Google Doc? Who has it? Come on.
Oh, I'm so excited. And this is one of the tags. I'm just gonna sit and watch. Like there are
You're
like,
just like that.
I'm tempted to like join, but at the same time, I'm having too much fun just watching it.
I think it was fun because I think I was planning to join, but that's also when I met Sweet for the first time.
Exactly.
And she was doing her OC and being all cool, and then I was watching Vane, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Look at everyone doing stuff. And then suddenly there was like murder and betrayal, and I was like, oh, I thought this was just gonna be nice. I didn't know there was plot. Okay, all right.
It was Game of Thrones. It's legit Game of Thrones.
Like, you thought it was just, like, chilling, but it's actually just Game of Thrones. Like, literally.
Vane started the tag. It was never gonna be chill.
It was never gonna be happy. Vane was the queen. It was never going to be peaceful.
No, there's no peace.
No peace
never.
here. Also, I like how I just look over my computer and I just see this from you. Just a little bit. We love to see it.
We do love to see it.
Okay. Comedic ideas. Okay. Through the Looking Past. Ooh, fun name. Do you guys prefer campaigns or one-shots?
One-shots always end up being campaigns, though. I like the thought of it starting as a one-shot and then ending up as a campaign. Because if you have the thought of it being a campaign, it's quite daunting. But I do love a good one-shot.
Yeah, same. Yeah, there's not really much I can add to that. Like, currently, that's what I'm planning to do. So I've got a whole bunch of one-shots planned that I'll be running, and then if any of them really stick, I'll turn into a campaign. I'm ready to become a DM again, which is going to be fun.
I'm right here. I am ready. I am ready.
I just got here, but I'm also always ready, you know, just in case.
I love that
if you want me to play. I can be Steve if you ever need a Steve.
If you need another, like, I know you have so much in your arsenal, but if you need another chaotic bisexual, I am here.
Just have a table full of it, and let's see what happens.
All of our friends are.
As D&D should be, honest. That's what D&D should be. Just
exactly.
Chaotic sitting around a table. What will they do?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Brian Masks asks, would you say it's true that there's only that there's always, what is the words here? Would you say it's true that there's always an aspect of the player in any character they play?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's your answer. The answer is yes.
You build it from yourself, even if you don't know that you are. I mean, even
like you're building it
do
from
it.
your own experiences
yeah.
and your brain. Unless you're building it out of someone else's head and then like bring it over, it's gonna be you somehow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be you.
If you're creating something from your own soul, it's a little Horcrux in itself. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing, like, because I've as someone who's like staffed at a LARP, I've read a whole bunch of character backstories. When I've met the actual person, a lot of people will claim like, I just tried not to base the character off myself. You can't help but do that. Like, even if it's just like, you won't know. So for example, I had a player that said, yeah, like, so I was betrayed in my backstory. I'm like, okay, but you were just betrayed fairly recently, weren't you? I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Mike's just like, huh?
Yeah, you did. That's how good characters really come out to be. It's like you have to relate. It has to be an extension of yourself. That's what makes it real, at least to a certain extent, you know.
Yeah, and I like to. I'm not going to do it here because it's going to be way too personal. But there was a moment like a couple of months ago, I think, where I roasted all of my players, either 101. I like literally read them, like the library was open, RuPaul's Drag Race, read them to filth based on their D&D characters.
Yeah.
And it is so much fun because I'm always right.
Yeah, you can tell a lot about someone based on the type of character they play in the backstory. Like, I'll look at the backstory.
When they send you that Google Doc and you read it, you suddenly know so much more.
Yeah, but like, I didn't, like, you're like, oh no, this is not based on me. I'm like, maybe not, but I know exactly what was gonna be a little...
Or is it?
Yeah.
Or is it? Like,
sure. I don't say, like, in the beginning of, like, the sessions, but then I'm like, you want me to take that out of your backstory so it doesn't become too personal? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Or you know. Okay, next question is also from Michael is doing his best, which he is. Who, real or fictional, would make up your dream party? I just want to say I would like Hal Pendragon rolling up as my wizard, personally.
Oh my god.
Like, if I have to have a magic user, can I have Hal Pendragon?
I want Inej from Six of Crows. Wait, as your D&D players, or like as characters in your game?
I think it's D&D. Like, if you had to pick a party to go with you as your adventuring party.
Oh my god, okay, Nej from Six of Crows, Jess from New Girl, because she would be fucking laughs. I would love... Hal would be great, but you just claimed him, so I'm gonna take...
Alright, he's in my party. You can have him for... You can have Sophie, or you can have, like, someone else.
No, I want Calcifer.
There you go, there you go.
And then I would like Hiccup.
I'll take Astrid. He's our barbarian.
And then I'm gonna take Aragorn. Okay. And then Eowyn. There we go.
Tax another one. Who's in your D&D party, Jared?
I only need one.
You only need one? Okay.
Danny
Who is it?
DeVito. Danny DeVito.
You only need Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Yeah.
No one else in your party. You just need Danny DeVito.
if you watch any of his movies, he can talk himself out of most situations. Either than that, if I end up dying, I will die a happy person, because knowing that Dan DeVito will be monologuing or doing some sort of comedy sketch, I'm like, yeah, this is how I want to go out.
Just take famous actors like, yes, David Tennant. What if you just hung out over here? Like, what? You don't have to do anything. You don't need to do anything. You can just sit there.
That's very true. Michael Sheen, though.
Michael Sheen, just like here, he would dominate the party.
I would love to.
He would defeat the dragon.
Michael Sheen, yeah. Oh my god.
It'd be amazing, astronomically beautiful. He's just slowly divulging into simping in 4K. Cannot be caught.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm so in love with that man. Yeah.
As you should be. Alright, next question from crazy_teacup. What would your OC's ideal kind of date? So what would be your OC's ideal kind of date? You can pick like one of your favorite OCs and tell us about their ideal date.
Pick my babies.
Pick the one you're most excited to play next.
Okay. I'm gonna do Feylin because she's on Summerbound. Pheylin's ideal date would be something like really soft, like a picnic that led into them shooting something on horseback riding while shooting stuff.
Like it's the kind of date where your date says, okay, we're gonna go have a picnic, and Pheylin's like, okay, and it's like happy to be there, but like thought maybe it'd be a little more, and then suddenly they're like, hold on, I'll be right back, and they just run up with the horse, and they got another one. They're like, come on, let's go. And you're
exactly.
Just like, oh, bet. It's that kind of date.
Exactly. Like she would be like, this is really nice, like this is sweet, but she would like get bored, and that's why they need the horseback riding with guns.
Yeah, shooting things like you do.
Exactly.
Like shooting paintballs at people randomly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Poor farmers just paintballs.
Oh, I came in here and put a paint on my sheet.
To be honest, that sounds like
just rode off.
That sounds like my kind of ideal date. Like I'll take it.
10 out of 10. What about you, Jared? You shoot no people paintballs?
That is a loaded question because all of my OCs are complicated. I guess the one I play most, it depends on which version of the Innkeeper you get, but to make it simple, this current version of the Innkeeper, probably horseback riding at nighttime. And watching the stars.
I love that we both chose horseback riding.
Jared,
yeah, we should just go on a date. We should just go on a horseback riding date.
I'll bring the horse.
I will show up as the Innkeeper, and I'll be like, "What's up, Phelan?" I mean, hello, adventure.
I'm gonna choose another character. I'm gonna maybe be someone else on a horseback. I want to be in armor while being on horseback. You know.
That's so whining. So sad. Like I want to be in armor.
I want to be in armor.
Yeah, like I think it's probably because like my character doesn't like staying in one place for too long. Like they can't like stand; they have to move. So it's like, yeah, horseback riding, next best thing.
That's movement.
That is movement.
Okay, next question from Brian Mask. If you were a Warlock, Patron, or Cleric deity, what domain would you oversee / which powers would you grant?
You want to start?
If you were a Warlock, Patron, or a Cleric deity, which domain would you oversee or which powers would you grant?
I am not knowledgeable in that field at all.
Make one up.
Me neither. So I'm just gonna be creative and say I'll be a Warlock Patron, and I would be like your agent because you know I do acting, and I'd be like, "Hey babe, how you doing?"
Got an appointment later.
So you got a little appointment at 2 p.m. I know it's a bit quick, but if you could just run and do that, that would be great. You get money for that. And their powers would be shape-shifting, enthrall, but like a special kind of enthrall, and anything charisma based. And they could make any awkward situation into a charming one.
As it should be.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Because since I play Deity, Cleric Deity, I'd like to be something around forgiveness, but would have like a really messed up twist. Like you'll just have multiple uses of modify memory. Forgiveness. If you just forget.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's all you do. You just have a lot of uses of. That's like
that's
you don't
it.
get anything
That's
else.
the
Just
only
modify
power.
memory.
Like
maybe,
that's the only power.
Maybe we'll do something like Homebrew, where you can modify memory a group of people all at the same time.
And that's it. But what you have is very powerful. When you go meet with the other clerics and they start roasting you, roasting me for what? And then suddenly it's gone.
And what?
And then what? What are you gonna do then? What would you possibly roast me for?
Nothing. You don't even know me.
You don't even know yourselves.
Boom! Just gave half the cleric's identity crisis.
It's very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, question from Oyabu. Hello, how do you recover from an emotionally intense session?
We talk it out, make playlists, and write fan fiction.
There you go. Hydrate, fan fiction, communication, sleep.
Playlists,
Boom.
crying a bit. It's all good.
For me, that really just depends on I think it really depends, because is it an emotionally charged thing where it becomes an emotional bleed situation, or was it an emotionally just draining situation? Because there's different methods for each one. So if it's an emotional draining, I think the easiest answer is to decompress. A lot of times that decompressing can be as easily as just watching a movie, accepting the session for what it was, take a step back, and then reevaluate after you because you're going to go through a lot of emotions, I'm going to guess. But if it's an emotional bleed, I feel like that's something you have to deal with right away, because when it comes to certain bleeds, like, you're going to start questioning, did this happen because I was the character? It's that type of just I think behavior's I'm going to use behavior for now, where you have to deal with it right away so feelings don't get hurt. And you just need to figure out things that separate yourself from your character, how your character is different. And if it involved anybody else, check in with them. And then you decompress. Because you don't want those emotions to sit and then build into something else. Yeah. And from my experience with other tables, everyone's pretty cool about it. And yeah. So it depends.
And sometimes it's like, for example, with my case, it was a joke gone wrong. And I took it personally, and then I brought it up straight away. It was like, oh my god, that was not the case, you know? So just bring it up casually, and then everything will be fine, because they most likely didn't do it to hurt you.
Yeah, we're just trying to have fun.
Yes. Question from Scarlet G99. How in love are you with Stevie's cosplay of Harvey's parents on a scale of 1 to obsessed?
So, I can't spoil anything yet.
No. Just how in love with you. Just
no. That's the thing. I am so in love on a scale that
1 to obsessed.
It is
1 to obsessed.
Stevie knows, but
are you on obsessed? Are you past obsessed?
I'm past.
Obsessed times 2.
I am past the point of no return.
There you go. That's how you answer the question. Obsessed times 80,000. Then infinity, and then carry the 1.
Like.
Then carry the 2 then.
Yeah.
Okay, carry the 3. You're making a face, carry the 3.
Okay.
Just keep adding zeros.
Just keep adding zeros. Just do an infinity sign and we're good.
Yeah, just erase obsess and then just put infinity and you'll probably get your answer.
Exactly.
There you go. Question from Gaming Benjamin. Hey Jared, who's your favorite character on Beyond the Realms and why is it Turok Cap?
I like Mjolnir. He's my favorite character because he carried that entire ordeal. Like the way that hammer just dropped and that rope, it was great. It was a fine time. Yeah, no. Or the snow that padded Tarek's fall. That was what saved. Oh wait, no, Tarek ended up dying even afterwards. The real MVP was the gem that we used to save. I'm joking. I love you, Ben.
Ben is an absolute
I
sweetheart.
They're just sitting here
love-
trying to mind their own business.
How
They
dare
came here
you.
for a good time.
Ben deserves
I'm-
better.
I mean, here's my real answer. I appreciate Tarek as a character specifically because you're playing a character that was put into a position of leadership. But the issue with that is you are part of a party where the leadership isn't really there. And in fact, everyone is insisting on being independent. Not because they want to be rude, but because that's just how their playstyles are. That's just how the way they're statted. And you being put in a situation, or at least Tarek being put in a situation like that, and having to act and put himself where people start seeing him as leader, that's hard work. That's very difficult. And I respect how well Tarek has put himself there and the patience he has, considering that almost every other like session, something terribly like goes wrong. I don't know, like offering a Warlock patron, take him to Asgard, or making deals that aren't theirs to make. It's that level of improv. I say improv because you're literally just dancing into it. It's like, yeah, I appreciate Tarek in that regard.
I just want you to know Ben is really offended in the chat. How dare you? I am right here in the chat.
It's okay. Don't worry, Ben. You are right here. You don't need to go. You don't need
Right
to go
here.
anywhere. You're right here.
You're right here with us.
Oh
A
my
question
gosh.
from Lavender again. Oh, well, Lavender hasn't asked a question. I'm a fool. Question. Have you? I don't see it. Question from Lavender. Crystallines. What is your current D&D character's favorite Disney movie?
Feylin would be Mulan.
Good. This is good.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking the aspect of the current campaign I'm in as Sir Strange. I'm gonna have to say Frozen.
Not Frozen.
Oh
My
my
favorite
god.
princess is Elsa. Just kidding.
She's a
Says it in a
queen,
very
though.
serious
She's a
voice.
queen.
Says in a very serious voice.
Oh my god. Feylin's Mulan, definitely.
We love it. Question from Scarlet G99. Describe your dream D&D room.
Like a man cave kind of room?
Just your dream D&D room.
No. Jared, yeah, I think you have to go first because I have it all planned. And when I say I have it all planned, I talk to my partner about this and he has no say. Because I have it, I know what it's going to look like. I'm going to make it.
I already have it.
Oh, fuck you.
Mine's is rolly chairs for everyone. Everyone
have-
gets rolly chairs.
So basically, I'll just describe to you how my set is. So you see my set on one side. There's other parts of it that has wooden panels as well. I have light set up in every around the room. I have a fog machine in one corner where I have a button where I can press it, specifically in the table where I would DM. I have an extendable table so I can make it larger than it actually is. I have a shelf that contains all the lore that I have. I have a Bluetooth speaker hooked up so I can play any type of ambiance I want. And I also have a refrigerator that carries, usually I usually get like energy drinks and I label them in glass bottles so it looks like a medieval sort of like aesthetic like wine jug. And yeah, when I do start running physical campaigns, yeah, that all my friends are welcome to show up and I'll run a campaign.
Okay.
Jared is bougie. That's the
So-
answer.
This is my dream D&D room. One, it has to be in the basement. Either a basement or like a little house that I built specifically for it, like in the garden. Like it has to be like adjacent to the house in some way. One, it has to be soundproof, like if it's in the basement. So, you know, if we're really loud, it doesn't wake everyone else up. Also, just keeps the sound in. I'm gonna have like big speakers. I'm gonna have an actual fireplace, like at the edge of the room. And it's gonna be like stone walls, and if it's not actual stone walls, it's gonna be like plastic, like so it can look like stone walls. And I'm gonna have bookshelves and like really cool things hanging from everywhere. Then there's the table, okay? It's either going to be a round table, like Knights of the Round Table kind of situation, or it's going to go downwards. Either way, there's going to be a compartment, like in the table, for every single player. And all the chairs are going to be regal, except for the DMs, it's going to be regaler, you know? It's going to be, like, kingly. And there's going to be, like, fur and pelts, and it's going to have, again, like, fog machines and lighting, and, you know, it's gonna have its own little, like, panel box, so it has, like, a little cave where you can have your computer and just, like, be a little DJ. And that is just the beginning, and then I'm gonna build it even bigger. But yeah, that is my idea for now.
Rolly chairs. We come back to the rolly chairs.
Rolling chairs.
Everyone has very comfortable plush rolling chairs. And there is room on the table for all of your things. That is all I want. Space in rolly chairs.
That is all.
The life worth living. I like to live in luxury.
I mean, rolly chairs are great.
So good. Just wee. Wee. Wee.
That's my favorite song.
I love that audio so much. Okay. Question from Michael is doing his best. Between the two of you, who would win in an arm wrestling competition?
Jared.
Wait, what? What was the question?
Who would
Arm
win in
wrestling.
an arm wrestling?
You would.
Dude, I would, like, not only would I, like, since you're my friend, not only would, like, I put your arm, I will pick you up and
toss
just to
me.
prove a point. Just like, bah! And I'm like,
Guys, I don't think you understand my tiny 5'1" with no muscles.
God,
Yes,
you're
fan.
so small.
Yeah, and Jared,
I could fight you.
who
I could
walks
fight.
around in fucking armor at least once a week. Who the fuck?
I probably should mention I work out in armor too.
Exactly,
So.
and I've seen them work out in armor as well. Like, there is no competition. I
I
would
find this
die.
interesting in comparison to like Fergus, who just like picks fight with people. And then me and Fergus are constantly thinking about who would win between the two of us, and we're like going on. And he's like, "No, you wouldn't." I'm like, "But maybe I think I would."
Such Leo energy, both of you.
It is.
Gosh.
It's Leo and people who are actually traits to fight energy. It just hits. Like there's Vane who
both
just
of you are
says,
Leos as well.
like Vane will just say that she'll beat Fergus in a fight. Well, we all know that Fergus will take her out. But me and Fergus sit and talk. It's just like, but black belt.
Exactly.
My bones are. I just goes on and goes on. It's very much Leo energy. It's Leos who were trained to fight energy. Just get a little
By the
crazy.
way, Michael says there's a company that makes a little hobbit hole basement for your garden, and I would really like a link. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Please.
Either
someone.
tweet it at us or put it in the chat.
Please.
Hand it over. Hand it over. Hand it over. Okay, so arm wrestling competition. Don't bet any money on Hulda.
No.
Do not run Hulda your coin in that instance. You will be out of so much money. Not even a pity. You wouldn't even get a pity win. So
No.
it's like, it's not worth it.
No mercy.
I would just raise an
mercy.
eyebrow and be like, if you want to lose your money, then fine.
And then I would lose so that way we can get double.
No, that's the big brain.
Oh my god, big brain energy.
Big wrinkly brain right there. Heck yeah. Bet. All right. We weren't supposed to tell anyone about that.
Fuck.
Thank God.
We fucked it.
Jared, what the fuck?
Shit.
I'll
Just
read
edit
that
this out.
anyway.
Edit this out.
Edit
Number
this out.
one, no
Edit this
thank
out.
Cut the cameras.
Edit this out. Who's on the Twitch right now? Edit this out.
I'm on the Twitch. I'm running the stream.
Edit it out. Next question. It's from Chelsea. Hey, 93. What is Pheylin's favorite animal? Cat, dog, or other?
Fox.
Fox. What kind of fox?
Like a classic red and white one. I think also she would love big dogs, like Irish wolfhound kind of dogs. I mean, like, I like Bernese mountain dog kind of dogs because they're big and fluffy, but I think she would love Italian greyhounds. The hunting one, the skinny hunting ones, and she would also love the Irish wolfhound, the tall skinny ones. That would be her ideal, like either that kind of dog or a fox.
What about a maned wolf?
I don't think Feylin would be a maned wolf. But I
love maned wolves.
They're pretty though.
They're so long. It looks like whoever created animals just like took the stretch tool and said yoink, yoink.
I think it's too long, but like I think like those kind of dogs or like a fox.
Dogs that are long, but not necessarily as long as a long fox maned wolf.
Yeah, like, I know Italian Greyhounds are tiny, but they're like have that skinny quality to them, and they're hunters.
Itty bitty, not itty bitty. I ran out of questions, so we're gonna look over here. Oh, someone asked, is Jared's secret superhero? Tell us, are you the man behind the chair? Or are you the person outside of the chair flying around in the city?
They are. Jared is an actual superhero though. Like
no.
Do you want me to go into this? So Jared, for everyone, I know everyone knows this, but Jared is like the kind of person that if you needed help, they would be there for you, like completely. You could send them a message and they would be like, I'm there. Or you could be like, oh shit, I need money for this thing. I'm gonna do a Ko-fi thing. Hopefully someone donates. And then they just buy it for you on your wish list. Be like, what Ko-fi? You just
someone said Jared might be a supervillain, no mercy.
No, I don't think I think Jared wants to have a villain arc just to be fancy, but
like a vigilante. Like he's gonna have a villain arc, but not be a villain. Like maybe he'll go through some stuff and have to come back from it, but not a villain.
Exactly. No. They're I mean, Jared is a Slytherin, but they are But they are
wow,
heroes.
Quite a villain. Look at that villainy right there. Can you see it? You see it in the eyes?
Stop.
You can really see, you can feel the villainous waves coming.
No one's done that dance in years. Villainy.
Someone also asked, why a fox? That was a quick response. Scarlett asked that.
Backstory stuff.
Oh. It's part of the lore.
Part of the lore. Because that part hasn't come up yet in game. But there's something that happened to Feylin at a very young age that defined her whole life, and one of the reasons that she still kept sane is because of a fox. But I'm not gonna say how that's a thing.
Oh my gosh, is Phelan just like Batman but with fox? It's just like I saw a fox. Does Phelan still have her parents?
Her father. Yeah.
We can fix that. We'll turn her into Batman.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That means don't do that. That means her oldest brother will take over, and we do not want her oldest brother to take over.
And you're like, oh, hey, do you still have your parents? Yeah, we can fix that. Sorry.
Wait, this is Frankenpunk, right? Frankenpunk?
Frankenpunk, yeah.
You legally can't have parents.
Yeah. Lydia's getting a tattoo right now. Lydia. She can't hear you. No, she's not.
I'll send Lydia a Snapchat video so you can see it later. Be like, listen, you wouldn't believe this. Phelan has parents.
Just one dad. Just one dad.
We were making my character like a hot while ago, and was just like, yes, trauma. So now I'm gonna be like, wait, no, Phelan can't have parents. It's not okay. It's not allowed.
Oh my
legally.
Oh my god.
We don't make rules. No, she was bitten by a radioactive fox. She Batman with guns.
No. I'm not. This is funny, but I'm not gonna tell you. It hasn't come up yet. Not gonna tell you.
No, you don't need to answer. We all know. Batman with guns. Okay.
Batman with guns.
Phelan just walking over.
But he has a gun.
Left walking over to a fox, like, oh, it's a fox. What does the fox say?
As someone who lived in Norway when this song arrived, because you know the Ylvis brothers are a Norwegian comedy duo. It was like hell, and like again, I told you, Jared, with Fairy Tale with Alexander Rybak won Eurovision, and now the Fairy Tale is trending on TikTok, and I'm just getting those flashbacks from that summer where it just was played constantly.
I love every 5 minutes, I can know what song is popular with the world by like just TikTok.
Yeah.
Currently, that's just that little Nas song and just that one meme.
Oh.
That's my
In the
entire For You
morning.
page.
I love that meme though.
That one meme
I'm
is
not
my
tired of it
entire.
yet. I'm not tired.
I'm not tired of it either, but I
have
just
to
knew.
post
I
that
logged
meme.
in TikTok and I saw it once and I was like, okay. And I
Something's
saw it
up.
twice,
Yeah.
and then I saw it 3 times. I was like, all right, okay.
Let's see what's
a
going
trend.
on. Let's see what's going
It's a
on.
trend. All right, I know now.
love that. I also love that they said in that music video, but like, how many actors do you want? 1. For yes.
And
Just
So like, do you
one.
want no, just
No,
one.
Just 1.
I'm good. Real low production costs. We're in the middle of a panoramic. What are you talking about?
What else do you want? A stripper pole.
A real good
Oh.
one.
A real good
he
one.
trained. He was practicing on that
Oh,
stripper pole for
yeah.
like months for that music video.
As you typically have to do. Strip poles are crazy.
That's crazy though. No, I can't. I could never. I could never. My
Any
my
type
la-
of dance.
there should be an
I-
Olympic thing for like strip. I know like pole dancers. I know that sounds like
It
but,
is,
like
just
the-
in general. But it is. I took a class. I did belly dance earlier in my college career, but we went and we learned other kinds of dances with like for workshops with other groups. And this other group who primarily worked in like stripping kind of dances and like party dancing and hip hop. And they were like, okay, we'll teach you guys how to do it. And they were wearing heels during the lesson. And then they just started going and they're like trying to keep up. We're going to go real slow. And I was like, what? What is happening? Forget sports. Forget sports. We should be paying thousands of dollars for this because I can't breathe. It's like running a marathon, but in place and in stilettos that are 12 inches tall. Like, it's crazy.
And the
So
core
much
strength. Just the core.
God!
strength.
The strength, the power could take me out, and I'd say thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you both. So, what is something that either you would say to, maybe you can say it as a DM or as a player, but what is something you would say to your past self for when you were first starting to get into D&D?
Jared will have a more meaningful answer than me, so I'll let them say it first, and then I'll say it afterward.
Take Gary Gygax was trash and problematic. The rule book isn't just a rule book. You don't need to follow all of it. It's a guideline. You don't need to read it thoroughly like the Bible. No. Find it. That's one thing is I think that was my biggest mistake was that as a personality trait of mine, I like to be super prepared. With D&D, it's good to be slightly prepared, but the experience is the unknown.
Oh,
That's where the true experience comes from. Like, even if you make a mistake, like for example, I had like auras that I had that I didn't know that I had active the entire time. It's the mistakes where some of the best storytelling comes from. It's no pressure because D&D is whatever you want it to be.
Exactly.
Of course, depending on your DM and your table, it's whatever you want it to be. And I don't. And this is extremely hot take. Is just how you play it is how you want to play it. That's it. Have
The
fun.
rules are not meant to dictate your entire experience. They're just there to guide you to have a general idea, and then you take it and you run.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that, either starting DMs or starting players. Like, okay, I'm going to read like the guide. I'm going to read it word from word, and then I'll read all the books, and I'll read all the monster manuals, and I'm just going to read them, and then I'm going to study them. And it's like, no, that's homework. That's not fun. That's homework.
Yeah, and even then, Wizards of the Coast does not produce like fast enough content. I've had DMs tell me like they've went through the books. Sorry, that's my alarm. They've went through the books like nothing. Like it's like, oh well, now where are my monsters? So a lot of the stuff that people utilize now is just homebrew monsters. It's great.
Yeah. It's cool. Those are the coolest finds. They're weird. They're crazy.
Yeah.
You can find a sentient pencil. Like, who knows?
That's pretty much a mimic, though. I think for me, I would tell my past self, reading all of those fantasy books is not a waste of time. The amount of fantasy books you will read in your life will fucking help you build the storyline.
It will shape your personality.
It will shape your personality, but it will shape the way you tell stories. It will shape the way that you find out like how to tell a story and what is fun in a fantasy setting. because I read an insane amount of fantasy books in my youth, and now because I've gotten older, I don't know what happened. I'd like pick up a book and it takes me 6 months to pick up another one. But like in my past, I would like read 3 books in a week. But yeah, the amount of it's like I would like be absolutely engulfed in it. So the amount of fantasy books you read will not be a waste of time, and don't be like, you'll be fine in a leadership position, because as a DM you kind of are a leader, and with like Summerbound I do kind of take a leadership position in some way, and that is something I didn't think I would be able to do as a kid, because again, as someone who was very outcast, no one listened to, I was just like the weird kid. Being someone who's now in that position is strange and sometimes very uncomfortable for me, because I don't like making decisions for anything really. So it's just showing like, no, you'll get there. Your time will come. Don't you worry. And you're not bad at it. Maybe one day you'll be even better, but you're not bad at it.
This is good. This is good. All right, we have a few more questions from the chat. Ghosty is alive. Asks, what is your favorite time period to play in D&D?
Medieval fantasy, I think, and I'm loving the steampunk aesthetic.
Yeah, purely fantasy for me.
Yeah. Like fantasy, like something that isn't our world.
Yeah. Just fantasy for me. I've tried steampunk and other stuff. It's just like, fantasy has always been my cup of tea.
Hits. Like, I'm not particularly a fan of stuff like Star Trek and Star Wars. Like, I just never really got into it personally.
I'm not a
so
sci-fi
when
girl,
I played like one shot where we kind of went into the future and we were on like our own little ship, but it was really well done, so I enjoyed it. But like, preferably like in general, there's something about just going back in time and playing in the fantasy world. It just hits different.
You'll be hitting.
Not modern. Modern day can hurt sometimes. It can hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the God one shot, that was different because, you know, it wasn't like regular. But like, if I was just to play like in 2021, that'd be a little sad. Like just right now, like in this current world, that'd be a little sad.
I mean, one thing that would be fun is I think I haven't watched the Witches of Eastwick. Is it Witches of Eastwick? Westwick? The one that Sarah's Coffee, the campaign that she's doing. I don't know if it is our modern world, but I know it's a modernized D&D where everyone kind of plays witches. And that sounds like a lot of fun. But then again, that's kind of like, kind of fantasy-based. Yeah.
I'm up for most of them. Like, most things work out, but as a preference, I don't know. Something about a land where dragons just roll up and hang out.
Exactly, yes.
I'd say
That's
should.
just like Dragon Tales?
Yeah, I like Dragon Tales. Okay, listen, it was a cultural thing that all of us experienced who've seen it. Dragon Tales was a cultural reset as far as I was concerned. Okay, Dragon Tales hit.
Dragon
Tales.
You watch that show a lot as a kid.
I just saw on TikTok like a video of Barney, and I was flashed back into a different time of life. It was weird.
Oh my god.
But, next question. What is Pheylin's favorite drink? Both alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
So Feylin knows everyone's coffee order by heart. How they find out that she knows everyone's coffee order by heart, that's up to you, but like...
Starbucks.
Yeah, but she will like hang at the campus as like a local coffee shop, and she just knows everyone's order. But her usual order is a mocha. Or a latte, depends. No sugar or like extra milk or anything, but like a straight up mocha or a latte. Her favorite alcoholic drink. She doesn't really like to drink alcohol. She just drinks champagne for the social gatherings of it, but she wouldn't drink alcohol on the side.
No. All right, we've got 2 more questions before we go ahead and wrap up for the night.
All right.
Crazy Teacup asks, what would have Euro C done during the lockdown to spend your time if you were in quarantine? Your character, how would they bide their time?
Shoot at everything.
Okay.
I'm
getting Sherlock Holmes vibes when he's like bored, and like BBC Sherlock when he's bored, and like he just starts doing stuff.
That would be
Watson is just like, please, our wall. the property value. And Pheylin's just
Yes, Celine would make, just for like tanks and treasures, just for like something different. Celine and Xander would probably be locked down together, and they would pull pranks at each other and try to like, you know, pull the worst prank like every day.
a resource available. Yes, every day it's another mystery. You never know.
Yeah.
What about you, Jared? What you kind of do? You like shoot
The
walls?
innkeeper would stay inside, start a spoon cult, and not collaborate with any other tavern owners and put anyone at risk. Because spoon cult.
Because spoon cult.
Just a spoon cult of one? Just your own spoon cult where you share
The
your radical
Rosewood-
ideas about spoons?
the Rosewood Inn has more than 30 mimics that they keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
They keep growing, and honestly, if we were thinking the aspect of like isolation, the innkeeper has mimics.
He does have friends.
I'd say they're friends. I'd say they're like rival cult members.
He has to try to sell them on his cult, or else it's all game over.
Yes. I see you've encountered the Fork tribe. No. The spoons are far superior. Their god makes more sense. Isn't that right, Steve?
Sport comes in.
Sport!
Heretic!
We can all be friends. No, we can't.
We cannot!
We
certainly cannot.
Cue Lion King 2, you know?
Just the plot of Lion King 2 is what Jared is doing in quarantine,
Yeah.
but it's with a mix.
But it's with spoons and forks, yeah.
Okay, and last question from Scarlet G99. If you could speak to your character as a voice of God, what would you say?
Are you gonna use the voice thing? You're using the voice thing. I need
I think
to...
you just spoiled it. Why'd you spoil
It's because I know that look that Jared does. Oh, I'm gonna do it as... No, I can't do it. Jared, can I say it before you, like, take the whole show? Curious, I'm just gonna say...
Go ahead. Do it now.
You're worthy of love. And I'm gonna say that to all of them. There you go, Jared.
Alright. On, Jared. Come on. Turn my headphones up. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. The panic. The panic. Anyway, do a cool flip. Yay.
I'm gonna change the music.
Ooh. That's spicy. That is dynamic. That is great. I enjoy that.
Come on, Jared.
The anticipation is killing me.
Yeah, me too.
I feel panic. Fork tribe demands it.
Eat shit. God? Yeah. Eat shit. Oh, okay. Yeah. Your coping mechanisms? Trash. Hey, when was the last time you had water? Not in a while. Yeah? Thirsty bitch.
First bitch.
Oh my god, that was worth it. That was worth the wait.
Can we get an applause? Can we get an applause for that beautiful performance? Wow, that was so emotional. I brought a tear to my eye. Stop. This is my very first interaction with Jared for any amount of time, and it has been very iconic. Let me tell you.
You gotta jump on the call when they're here. It's always great. There's always a show.
I am what's simply a weenie. But with that, that'll be the last question of the night, and I want to again thank you all for coming.
Thank
for
you
coming
so
to
much,
hang out.
Artful. There's a BB's on Saturday, and on the 9th, there's a new episode of Frankenpunk. Artful,
I'm in it. I'm in it this time.
I'm so
I'm
excited
there.
to sit and watch.
I'll be cosplaying my character soon.
Oh, I'm excited to see it.
But yeah, be sure to follow us on all the socials, do all the things. You can find me on Twitch. You can find these two on the Twitters, the Instagrams, and the TikTok. Same with me. Be sure to tune into our stream at 6 p.m. EST and all the varying times. Normal time we do it for a Saturday to watch the BBs. But thank you all for coming, and wherever you are, wherever you may be, hope you have a lovely day or night.
Bye.